Welcome to Learning from the Best, a YouTube channel that empowers you to achieve success, wealth, happiness, and personal growth through the timeless wisdom of the world's greatest minds. Letter 5. Having the determination to compete February 19th, 1901. Dear John, I have bad news for you. Mr. Benson passed away just last night. I'm very sad. Mr. Benson was my former rival and one of the few adversaries I respected, and I was deeply impressed by his extraordinary talent, tenacity of will, and graceful demeanor to this day. I remember the joke he made to me after our alliance was formed. He said, "Mr. Rockefeller, you are an unrelenting and perfect predator, and losing to those bad guys will make me very sad because it's like a robbery, but it's a joy to play against a disciplined guy like you." At that time, I couldn't tell whether Benson was complimenting me or criticizing me. I told him, "Mr. Benson, if you can replace the predator with the conqueror, I think I will be happy to accept it." He smiled. I deeply admire those warriors who are still fighting bravely in the face of the enemy. Mr. Benson is such a person. Before Benson became my opponent, I had just defeated the largest railroad company in the United States, the Pennsylvania Railroad, and successfully overpowered the fourth and major railroad company in the United States, the Baltimore, Ohio Railroad. In this way, along with my most loyal allies, the Erie Railroad and the New York Central Railroad, all the four major railroad companies in the United States have become instruments obtained in my hands. At the same time, Standard Oil's pipelines extended to the oil fields bit by bit, giving me absolute control over all the major oil lines connecting the wells to the main rail. Frankly speaking, at the time, my influence had extended to every corner of the oil industry, such as oil extraction, oil refining, transportation, and market. I had the power to make oil refineries go bankrupt, but there are people who ignore my authority, such as Mr. Benson. Mr. Benson is an ambitious businessman who is laying a pipeline from Bradford Field to Williamsport to rescue the independent oil producers who are desperate to break free from my shackles for fear of being overwhelmed by me. John, any competition is not an easy game. It's a dynamic game that requires close attention, constant decision-making, or you'll lose if you don't pay attention. Mr. Benson is causing trouble, and I have to get him to stop. At first, I use a set of apparently not very clever tactics to start a contest with Benson. I bought a narrow piece of land along the Pennsylvania state border from north to south at a high price, trying to stop Benson's progress. But Benson took a detour. Then I used the power of my allies to demand that the railroad companies never let any oil pipelines cross their railroads, and Benson managed to break through again in the end. I wanted to use the power of the government to stop Benson, but it didn't work, and I just watched Benson become a hero. I know I have a formidable rival, but he can't shake my determination to compete because that 110-mile pipeline is my greatest threat. If the oil is allowed to flow unimpeded to New York, then Benson and the others will replace me as the new owner of the New York refining industry, and the same amount will cause me to lose control of the Bradford Field. This is something I cannot allow. My real goal is to get what I want without paying too much, not letting Benson and the others mess around and destroy the market I've worked so hard to build. It's my life. So when that serpent was about to start surging, I proposed to Benson that I wanted to buy their stock, and unfortunately they refused. This angered a lot of us. Mr. O'Day, who oversees the company's pipeline operations, is going to destroy it by force to punish those who don't know what to do. I hate this wicked and contrived idea. Only incompetent people would do such disgusting deeds. And I told O'Day, "Kill your stupid idea." I never thought I would lose, but even if I lose, the only thing I should do is to lose with integrity. If anyone can get behind the scenes without getting caught, he will almost certainly gain a competitive advantage. However, evil and immoral behavior is so dangerous that it will cost him dignity and possibly even jail time, and no deceitful and unethical behavior can last long. Except for a sound business strategy, it only destroys the bigger picture and makes the future more difficult, if not impossible. We must pay attention to rules, because rules create relationships. Relationships lead to long-lasting business, and good deals create more deals. Otherwise, we will end our good fortune early. By my nature, when I meet competition, I destroy competitors. But I don't need a shady victory. I want a happy and complete victory. Just as Benson was complacent and enjoying his success, I launched a series of attacks on him that he was overwhelmed by. I sent people to send bulk orders to storage tank manufacturers, asking them to guarantee production and delivery on time, leaving them with no time to care for other customers, including Benson. Without storage tanks, oil producers can only extract the crude oil and dump it into the wilderness. At the same time, I Slash the price of pipeline transportation, attracting a large number of refiners who rely on Benson to transport crude oil. An excellent commander will not attack the bunker that has nothing to do with him, but will do his best to destroy the bunker that is enough to capture the whole city. Every round of my attacks hit the spot where Mr. Benson was out of fuel, and I was the victor less than a year after the construction of what was called the longest oil pipeline in the world. Mr. Benson surrendered, and he offered to make peace with me. I know this is not their intention, but they know very well that if they continue to fight against me, they will only lose. Even worse, John, every crucial competition is a battle that decides fate. To retreat is to surrender. Going backwards will become a slave. Since war is inevitable, let it come. In this world, the competition will not stop for a moment, and we will not have time to rest. All we can do is to take the steely determination to the challenges and competitions that come with them, and keep our spirits high and enjoy them. Otherwise, good results will not be produced. To win in the competition, it is more critical that you stay alert when you constantly see your opponent trying to weaken you. That is the beginning of the competition. At this time, you need to know what you have and what you need to know, that friendliness and warmth may harm you. And then it is the skill of using all the resources to win. Of course, if you want to win in the competition, courage is only one aspect of winning, but also strength. Crutches cannot replace strong feet. We have to rely on our own feet to stand up. If your feet are not strong enough to support you, you should not give up and admit defeat, but should work hard to strengthen and develop your feet, making them work. I think Mr. Benson would agree with me. In heaven, love your father.